We are going to go after American stakeholders who matter to the White House. I have proposed a 100% tariff on all Teslas. I am calling on all the...
This is how you fight back against Trump. I want to introduce you guys to a new coalition of leaders emerging across the globe who are unapologetically fighting back against Trump's terrible, bolsterous, disastrous foreign policy. And it is awful. When he threatens to put tariffs on our closest allies, that makes America look terrible on the global stage. When Trump allows Putin to dictate the terms of the Ukrainian peace deal, it's not even a peace deal, then that makes America look terrible in the eyes of our European allies. But there are leaders pushing back. Canada is fighting back. The UK is fighting back. Mexico's Claudia Sheinbaum has been doing a great job. And I think it's worth highlighting some of these leaders, especially Chrystia Freeland coming out of Canada, who's running to be the new prime minister. Watch this amazing video of her explaining that they can go tit for tat. They can actually do targeted tariffs against people like Elon Musk, targeted tariffs against red states if Trump really wants to play this game, and they will not allow themselves to be bullied. So let's take a look. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. We're running towards 1 million subscribers because of you guys. So thank you, and let's check this out.
If you force our hand, we will inflict the biggest trade blow that the United States has ever endured.
What does that trade blow look like if you're the next prime minister?
Dollar for dollar retaliation. Any tariff imposed on Canada, Canada will respond to, and our response is going to be smart and targeted. The tariffs the U.S. is threatening Canada with are across the board, and they're going to hurt you. Take aluminum. Aluminum is basically electricity in solid form. And in imposing a 25% tariff on Canadian aluminum, you're hurting yourselves. You're putting a 25% tax on electricity, and you actually need more electricity today in this AI race with China.
Yep.
Our retaliation is going to be a lot more surgical than that. We are going to go after American stakeholders who matter to the White House. I have proposed a 100% tariff on all Teslas. I am calling on all the countries that are affected by this tariff to join us, and our retaliation will target specific Trump constituencies. Another group that we're going to go after is Wisconsin dairy farmers. We know how important they are for the president, and we're not going to let them sell their products in Canada anymore.
They're going to surgically target Donald Trump's closest allies like Elon Musk and make sure that red states are hit. Now, I want to play this clip of the UK House of Commons the other day explaining how if the US isn't going to step up, then they need to come together and fund Ukraine and help out Ukraine. And I think the message here is just amazing. But let me start this off with Pete Hegseth speaking in Brussels earlier today. Take a listen.
You have focused on what Ukraine is giving up. What concessions will Putin be asked to make?
He gets asked, what concessions will Putin be asked to make? Because remember, yesterday Pete Hegseth spoke in Europe and he randomly began making concessions openly. That these are supposed to be behind closed doors negotiations. And Pete Hegseth starts going, Ukraine will never be a part of NATO. They're not going to return to their 2014 borders. Hegseth just starts giving concessions openly. And today he had to walk that back. But then he gets asked, you know, what is Russia going to be forced to concede?
What will Putin be asked to make?
Well, I would start by saying the arguments that have been made that somehow coming to the table right now is making concessions to Vladimir Putin outright that we otherwise, or that the president of the United States shouldn't otherwise make. I just reject that at its face. There's a reason why negotiations are happening right now, just a few weeks after President Trump was sworn in as President of the United States. Vladimir Putin responds to strength.
Notice how he didn't even answer the original question about what concessions Putin will be forced to make. And Pete Hegseth also tries to imply that he didn't accidentally make concessions and then try to walk it back the next day, but he did. The point of negotiation is that you want to put Ukraine in a position of strength. You want to guarantee security from the West, guarantee weaponry, guarantee certain things to put Ukraine in a position of strength. And when you start conceding everything, before the negotiations have even begun, when you start conceding things, you weaken Ukraine's position. Let's hear what they're saying in the UK House of Commons.
If Ukraine is forced to surrender its own sovereign territory to Russia, it will be the greatest betrayal of a European ally since Poland in 1945. But President Trump says Ukraine may end up Russian, and he wants American money back. I think we all fear where this could end and the dangerous implications for our defence and our security. So can the Prime Minister reassure this House that he and other European leaders have given sufficient support to President Zelensky so that he can't be bullied by Trump and Putin into accepting a deal that will effectively hand victory to Russia?
Prime Minister.
As he knows, I met President Zelensky in Kyiv just a few weeks ago at my 8th meeting. The position since the outbreak of this conflict has been a united position across the House of supporting Ukraine, and I was able to reiterate my position, which is we must put Ukraine in the strongest possible position. That matters now just as much as it mattered at the beginning of this conflict, the strongest possible position, and I did discuss with him what more we can do, what more our allies can do to put Ukraine in the strongest possible.
What a wild world we live in, that people are saying Putin and Trump are bullying Ukraine into a peace deal. It's the truth, though. It's the truth, but I just never thought I'd live to see the day where the U.S. is taking the side of Russia. Let me end this off with some hope from our former President Biden.
Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith.
Some hope from President Biden right there at a time when Trump is eroding almost all of our core foreign policy principles. But again, there are leaders across the world who are standing up to Trump's bullying. I think Sheinbaum from Mexico is doing a great job. She's got like an 85% approval rating, or is it 88% approval rating, which is unprecedented. An insanely high approval rating, and it's because she doesn't take Trump's bullshit. She pushes back, and she knows how to do the same type of, let's say, theatrical stunts that Trump engages in. So when he renames the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, she then gave a conference where she said, why don't we rename America to Americana Mexicana, or something like that. She's very good at pushing back against Trump, and Democrats can learn a thing or two. I also think that Chrystia Freeland, the person who said that they'll tariff Tesla, she's doing a great job as well. We'll continue to highlight these voices. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.